going on, guys? Steve here, Detroit Den 313. As you can see, got to knock out a solo today. Our guy Will, he's doing some family stuff. It's weekend. It is so blazing hot, man. I hope you guys are seeking some shade, hanging by the pool, having some cold beverages, and not just beer, man. You guys got to hydrate. Don't just be out here getting buck wild on a Sunday, drinking all day. But I got a little something I want to spiel. A little, not exactly a soapbox, but a little something kind of Lions content related, kind of not. I'm going to save that to the end. I know what you guys are here to do. You're here to see some Detroit Lions content being talked. All right. I've had this episode on my radar for a little bit now. I want to talk about some of the newbies, some of the new faces to the Detroit Lions. All right. We love guys like our Hutch, our Sewell, our Goff, our St. Browns, all that. But I'm talking guys who are coming into this 2025 NFL season brand new to the team, whether that's free agents or the NFL draft or whatever it may be. We're going to be talking about some new guys who are putting on that Detroit Lions uniform for the first time this season. So I got two guys I'm going to talk about, and then I got an honorable mention. I will explain while I put him in the honorable mention. And I want you guys to leave your comments down below too. I want you to leave me two guys who you think are going to be huge impact players as first-year Detroit Lions. And this isn't like a debate episode. It's just kind of your opinion. I think as Lions fans, we want every single newbie to be a huge difference maker, and we'll just have to sit back and wait and see how it pans out. So if your two guys aren't the same as mine, that's perfectly fine, because at the end of the day, we all want those Detroit Lions to be raising the Super Bowl at the end of the year. That's really all that matters to us. But first on my list is the big man out of Ohio State. Okay, if you guys know me, I bleed maize and blue through and through. The rivalry is dead after college football. I start looking at guys, hey, can you come help my Detroit Lions? That is all I care about. I don't care if you play for Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State. I don't care. If you're a Detroit Lion, rivalry's dead. Have some friendly banter back and forth with some guys in the locker room and some side bets, the jersey thing. I love seeing that kind of stuff. But Tyreek Williams, man, he's been on me and Will's radar way back from like the combine. I know he didn't have an official workout at the combine. He did his pro day stuff where he got a little banged up. But being the highest drafted player for the Detroit Lions, it has to have at least a little bit of expectations. It doesn't have to be like, oh, man, he's going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year and he's going to make the Pro Bowl. I don't believe any of that as a rookie. My expectations are come in, replace Lee McNeil until he's ready to be back around Thanksgiving time, and just hold water. I was lucky enough to be able to work today and have a kind of a quiet day to sit back and watch some Tyreek Williams highlights and some film and some actual games. 12-hour work shift, so I had nothing but time today to sit back and do a little digging. You know, I finally had a little time, been busy doing the dad thing, got some chances to watch some football today, and I found this one particular play, and I'll tell you why it kind of stuck out to me. I'll show you guys real quick, just a quick little highlight. Tyreek Williams, number 91 there. Now, as you can see, like, this isn't like a human highlight reel or anything, but why did I pick that play? Is because I think we got a little bit of a look at Tyreek Williams' athleticism. And that play kind of reminded me of a play that Kenneth Grant made for Michigan against Penn State a couple years ago, where he tracked down a running back for Penn State and made a similar type play. And I know that's kind of when Kenneth Grant kind of popped onto everyone's radar, and he was a heavy topic all offseason and during the draft that, you know, a lot of Lions fans wanted the Detroit Lions to get Kenneth Grant. I think Tyreek Williams is just as athletic, if not a little bit more. Okay. I'm looking at a kid who I think could be a major. What do the Detroit Lions want to do? First and foremost, you show up to Ford Field Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays, Saturdays, whatever day of the week it is. You want to stop the run. Tyreek Williams checks that box immediately. He's an absolute monster in the run game. I just showed you that play. Now, he didn't stuff him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 4 or anything like that, but he's going to pursue the football. And he made plenty of plays in the backfield all regular season, into the deep playoff run, into the national championship game. Like, this dude just played football day in, day out. I love Will's theory about, you know, if you're a dog on tape, I should be able to turn on any single football game, and at any single second of that football game, I should see you being a dog 24/7 and not taking plays off. And I think Tyreek Williams checks that box. Coming from Ohio State, I think their style of defense is the exact same thing I want the Detroit Lions to do, and that's winning up front, winning in the trenches on the defensive line. Now, again, Tyreek, he's a rookie. I would expect that training camp might be a little bit rough for him, but what I'm kind of thinking we might have a hard time grading Tyreek Williams on this training camp is he's going to be going against another rookie potentially, or Mahogany, who I still consider a rookie with very, very limited starts last year. So it's going to be like, who's good, who's winning here, who's really winning this battle? Because we essentially have two rookies, Williams, and then either Frazier or Ratledge or Mahogany, like I mentioned. Like, it's going to be interesting to see how those players are matching up against each other and how we're going to talk about them in training camp. So I think we're really going to get a good look in preseason games, which I'm very excited for. But that Ohio State defense, man, I think they're built just like a lot of NFL teams defensively. Offensively, I think they're a little bit more flashy, spread people out, run the football, have some playmakers outside, similar to the Lions, but college-wise, it's a little bit more fancy. When I look at that defense for Ohio State, I think it starts up front with them, and I think that's exactly why Brad Holmes is kind of looking to the Buckeyes to come beef up this defensive front with Tyreek Williams. But here's a question I found myself asking today is, who do I think is set to be the most beneficial from adding Tyreek Williams? And I remember all last year when we were talking about DJ Reader, it was how it was going to open up stuff for Aiden Hutchinson and winning some one-on-ones. And we didn't get a good glimpse at that because of the injury to Aiden Hutchinson early on in the season. So it kind of felt like, man, kind of a moot point. Like, we don't really get to have that impact from a defensive tackle. But I think if Tyreek Williams develops quick and develops fast, I think Hutch winning some one-on-ones and Aleem McNeil coming back is going to be an absolute nightmare for offensive lines. And my last thing about Tyreek Williams before I get into the other guy that I'm going to talk about, you guys probably seen the thumbnail, so you already know who it is. But fun fact about Tyreek Williams is his favorite athlete of all time. All time. That's what interests me. Not his favorite football player, basketball player, golfer, whatever his sport may be. His favorite athlete of all time, Aaron Donald, who the Detroit Lions passed on in that draft when he was coming out. Huge mistake. Brad Holmes would never make that mistake. So maybe we got a little bit of Aaron Donald to his game. And again, we've talked about this a little bit before about how Ohio State didn't really allow Tyreek Williams to be as dominant of a pass rusher with how they wanted to kind of shape their defense with stopping the run first. So I think if there's some scenarios where the other team's in some known passing situations, it could be time to unleash Tyreek Williams. So him being a huge fan of Aaron Donald, probably studying his game quite a bit, studying his workout routine, his diet. I expect he's checking every single box that he can watch on Aaron Donald. So that's something to keep a major lookout for. And also, I really hope that clip that I uploaded doesn't get hit with the copyright infringement. That'll pretty much just ruin my day. So if you see me talking about that and it wasn't in there, apologies. YouTube must have slapped my little bottom and I had to edit it out. But next, Isaac Tesla. And I know there's so many people out there who are probably going to say, you're not pronouncing his name right. That's okay. I'm going to say it how I say it. That's just how I am. But Isaac Tesla immediately got my attention when I found out that he had a pro day with the Detroit Lions. And I got to do a little digging, a little homework. And I said, damn, this is a local kid. He's a Michigan man, 6'4", 214 pounds, running a 4.43 40-yard dash with a 1.51 10-yard split and an athletic score of 96%. That's going to catch anyone's attention. That's going to catch the attention of any single person who dives into prospects like we do here at Detroit Den 313. If you see stuff like that, what do? We go watch the tape and see how it's validated. Is he just a workout warrior, or is he a dude that shows up at game day? Now, I'll say that I think he's one of those dudes that shows up. The problem with him being at Arkansas, they weren't exactly the product of an explosive offense, all right? Not exactly an offensive powerhouse or a weapon. I think we found one of those diamonds in the rough where maybe we got a gem just kind of hidden in a dog turd, because I think Isaac Tesla is going to be an immediate impact on offense. And our offense is already set. Isaac Tesla for a rookie this season, my expectations, be a luxury. Just be someone who makes some plays here and there. I don't expect any of our rookies. If they do, it's fantastic. Great. Hell yeah. I'm super happy. I don't expect any of them to be Pro Bowlers or defensive player or offensive player of the year on their respective side of the football. But I just look at Tesla as a kid who can catch 50-50 balls. But I love J-Mo. I love St. Brown. Don't get me wrong. But those guys aren't going up and Randy Moss and a defensive back for a football. That's probably my only knock on JMO is that I don't think he attacks the football enough. There was a couple interceptions in the NFC, the game against the Washington Commanders, where I think JMO could have bailed out Jared Goff, and maybe we don't have an interception and we live to fight another day. So I think Isaac Tesla is probably that just a very rare scenario on a football game. But if nobody's open, I think that maybe Jared Goff eventually, maybe not as a rookie, will be that, hey, I'm just going to throw it up to Tesla. I think he's a 50-50 type guy. I think he's got great hands. Impact as a rookie, I think he could really be battling Tim Patrick for that third wide receiver spot. I know a lot of people like to give that to Khalif Raymond, but I love Khalif, but I think he's more of a special teamer with some offensive plays here and there, but I don't lock him into that wide receiver 3 role. I don't care what ESPN says. I know they have a depth chart out there. I've seen it 1,000 times. It's just my opinion. Again, I'm going to ask the same question that I asked with Tyreek Williams. Who do I think is going to benefit the most from Isaac being on this team? I think St. Brown is obviously someone you have to account for as the defensive coordinator. So who's going to benefit the most from Isaac? I think it's going to be guys like Jameson Williams or a Sam Laporta who are just going to be working either the middle of the field, or you're going to be stuck guarding JMO one-on-one, and I hope your cornerback runs a 4-2 because JMO's just going to go blow by him. So those are my expectations for Isaac Tesla, Tyreek Williams, my 2 newbies who I think are going to be big impact guys. As you can see, I picked guys from the draft today, and again, I hope that every single player that's a Detroit Lion that's brand new this year makes an impact one way or another. All right, my honorable mention, DJ Reed, coming from the New York Jets, cornerback, $15 million, upgrade over Carlton Davis, in my opinion. Why I don't want to talk about him more is I just feel like that's low-hanging fruit. All right, I think DJ Reed is going to be a potential Pro Bowler, so it's just easy for me to hop on here and say, yeah, man, DJ Reed's going to make a huge impact. Like, I think you guys would mostly agree with me that he's going to be the starting corner. So, yes, he's going to be a massive impact. So he's my honorable mention, but really I think he's going to be a massive, massive contributor as a day one Detroit Lion as well. Now, time for my little soapbox, whatever. I don't even know what to call this, but I'm not a politician. I'm not a political guy. But what happened yesterday with the United States bombing Iran and their nuclear facilities, me and Will work at a nuclear facility. So it's kind of like making my mind think about how ugly this world is. And I'm not going down a political road. I won't say whether I'm for Trump or against it. It really doesn't matter to me. But as a veteran, also having a lot of friends who are still, and family who are still in the service actively, just makes me a little worried about what's going on in this world. So how can I relate that to the world that we're here in YouTube is, man, if you guys support YouTube channels and you guys support Detroit Lions podcasts, and there's so many good ones out here, all right? I like to think we're the best because I'm a competitive guy. I just want to always have that little edge over someone, with a little bragging rights. But if you support YouTube content creators, especially Detroit Lions, subscribe to their channels. Literally, we have so many people that come here, watch our show regularly, and we can see the numbers. We get hundreds of thousands of views a month, but we don't have that number matching up with our subscriber count. Just, try to just help us out a little bit. This world's ugly. It really just sucks now. It's a scary time to be raising kids. I think about, how I've only been a dad for 2 months and the world that my daughter's going to be growing up in. So if you guys just take a second, I don't care who you love, whoever you love as a Detroit Lions content creator, subscribe to their channel, help them out. It's greatly appreciated. Stick around. Me and we will be back tomorrow with another show, guys. Thanks.